I saw a few whiskers popping out of my chin when I looked in the mirror and promptly shaved them all away. Now I was ready for the day.
さてと。
I muttered to myself, but as I was about to leave the washroom, the door opened. If it isn't Maya.
おはよ
おはよう。
Maya had a bit of a long face. It didn't look like she was just drowsy.
そこ使っていい？
う。ああ、俺はもう終わったから。
Maya and I swapped places as she walked into the washroom.
ねえ。
ん？
本当に今日が最後なの？
I stopped in place and faced her. I stared straight at her. I wish I knew how to say that word, not gonna lie. I am deeply interested. I stared straight at her. Melancholic? That's a word that I always struggle to say, not gonna lie.
お前を連れて宇宙港まで行く。俺は密航しなきゃならんから、そこでお別れだけどな。
私なら大丈夫なんだけど。ここまでだって一人で来られたんだし。
状況は刻一刻と変わっているんだ。破滅は緩やかにやってくるとは限らない。むしろ加速している可能性もある。
There was also that mysterious shockwave we had to consider.
一人旅なんかしたら死ぬかもしれないぞ。
ちゃんとそれくらいは考えてるのに。
According to Maya, a senior colleague of hers was flying around a planet to capture the final state of the world on film. Apparently, that colleague would be taking the final colony ship as well, and was arranging to come meet her somewhere nearby by helicopter.
だが、近いと言っても1日2日で着く距離じゃない。
私、これでも結構しっかりしてるんだよ。おじさんに習ったのは記事の書き方だけじゃないんだから。
それは分かってる。
My traps hadn't been the most sophisticated, but she made it through them unscratched. I had no problem admitting she had quite the aptitude for coping with danger.
どっちみちお前だけの問題じゃないんだ。
そこがわかんないんだよね。なんでいきなりここを出る気になったわけ？それも春菜くんだけなんて。
さあな。
何よ、教えてくれないの？
悪いな。俺にもはっきり説明できないんだ。
For some reason, I didn't feel like telling her that Shion was crying. I believed that I should keep the final wish of the frail girl everyone believed to be strongest of all locked away in the depths of my heart. Besides, I doubted anyone would understand, even if I told them, how her tearful goodbye had shaken my heart.
そういえばマヤ。
はい？
お前、俺には一緒に行こうって言わなかったな。
シオンが宇宙に行くって言えば、春菜くんだって同行するに決まってるじゃん。だから言わなかったの。
この状況は、お前が想像もしなかったパターンか。
まだ本気で信じてないよ、私は。
Maya furrowed her brows doubtfully. It had been 3 days since Shion bid me for farewell. In the end, I couldn't refuse and had decided to travel with Maya. We had plans to leave tomorrow, as long as nothing out of the ordinary happened again. I couldn't be sure these feelings were real. I could feel my heart wavering inside of me. Where would these feelings lead me? And what was on her mind this very moment? A heavy silence fell upon us as at the breakfast table. Shion hadn't spoken much these past 3 days. Even when addressed, she was inattentive and did not respond. Maya had gotten timid and couldn't bring herself to speak anymore. The three of us did no more than eat our frugal breakfast of white rice, fried eggs, and salad. Which reminded me, Shion still couldn't make anything besides fried eggs. Yesterday and the day before, I made multiple trips to the nearby town and collected as much preserved food as I could find and left it for her. Food shouldn't be a problem for a while as long as she didn't mind the taste. Still, when I picture her eating bland food all alone...
さ、春菜くん。
どうした？
なんでもない。
Maya sunk into silence, looking disheartened, and scarfed down her remaining side dishes. She, on the other hand, kept her chopsticks moving at her own steady pace, almost like Maya and I were invisible to her. There was plenty I had to worry about when it came to the fields too. Thinking about it logically, it would be impossible for Shion to maintain them all on her own.
それで、どうするの？
シオンは畑の手入れの方法は完璧に覚えているだろう。
頭では、でしょ？実際にやるとなったら大変だよ。
She shrugged, looking astounded. Speaking of Shion, she was off on her own, digging into the dirt with a shovel. It was a part of the field that had been harvested and was currently out of the rotation, an empty plot.
できなくても山荘に食料は十分にある。どうにでもやっていけるだろう。
ちょっと聞きたいんだけどさ。
何をだ？
シオンと春菜くんの関係って一体何だったの？
それはまた唐突な質問だな。
I gazed at Shion, silently digging her way into the pitch-black soil. A girl I'd met while on my journey, chasing after my sister, whose circumstances were similar. To Shion, I was but a mere replacement for Elika, who should have been the one to take her away. Me, who despite my confidence in my abilities, was nothing but a soldier in the end. She, who produced the ships which brought hope to mankind. By all rights, neither of us had any common ground to speak of.
シオンはここを人生の終着点と決めた。そう決めたのはあくまで彼女の意思であって、俺がそれに倣うことはない。
シオンを守ってきた人の言葉とは思えないよ。
それがシオンの望みだ。言っただろう。シオンの意志は曲げられないと。
Maya suddenly took a step towards me. Her fist sailed through the air like an arrow determined to find its mark on my face. I saw it coming, but my body didn't move. The heavy sound of my cheekbone being smacked sounded as tough as though it came from someone else entirely as I stood there. Just straight up. Maya, on the other hand, looked like she was in pain. Oh, this is a new angle.
バカ。
My cheek slowly began to burn. Maya glared at me tearly-eyed as she rubbed her fists, her eyes.
好きになってたの。
With the fist? No, fist. It was fist.
春菜くんとシオンは深いところで通じ合ってるみたいに見えた。二人の間の穏やかな空気が好きだった。
This guy getting all the hoes, dude.
なのに。
お前が泣くようなことじゃない。
これじゃ、私は二人を引き裂くために来たみたい。悔しいよ。
Crying anime girls make me sad. She wiped her tears with her injured fist and ran away. She ran towards the mountain without turning back.
悔しいか。
悔しい。
俺もずっと悔やみながら生きてきたんだっけな。
The frustration I'd carried with me up until we fled the research facility had completely disappeared before I knew it. Gentle atmosphere, huh? I never thought I'd ever be a part of such a thing.
Ryou?
My right ear! Can't do that to me out of nowhere! It felt as though it had been a very long time since I had heard her voice. At some point, Shion had tossed a shovel aside and was standing before me.
血が出てる。
Yo, that girl can punch. She reached up and touched my mouth. Her touch was cool against my lips. Man, Shion is actually goddamn tiny. This is probably my first time actually seeing them standing right next to each other. She is tiny, tiny, tiny. I knew she was a loli, but goddamn, she stared at her fingertips covered in my blood, as though it were some wondrous thing.
シオン、
何？
I was a little surprised she answered, but I hid my reaction and kept
あそこ
talking.
で何を掘ってたんだ？
I looked over at the small hole she had dug with her
あ
shovel.
れはね、
Don't tell me she's digging her own grave.
私のお墓。
My God. My God. My God, dude. My God, man. Why? Why is she like this? Why is she like this? Well, why is she like this, man? Why is she like this? It was our final dinner in preparation for our departure tomorrow. Maya wasn't at her seat. Shion went back to being silent, finished her meal mechanically, and immediately retired to her room. After I finished cleaning up, there was nothing more to do. As of this moment, I was confident it was finally over. All the preparations were in order. It might be more accurate to say there were no elaborate preparations needed in the first place. I had weapons and tools that could be useful for sneaking about the colony ships, and of course food. With that much prepared, I shouldn't have any
勝負は
issues.
港に着いてからだな。
I had already come up with a few ways to infiltrate the spaceport. I thought of roughly 27 tactics, but infiltration was likely possible with any one of them.
つまらないな。
I wasn't some sort of amateur who took pleasure in overcoming adversity of taking on powerful foes, but I couldn't stand boredom. I picked up the small box on the table. Maya had entrusted it to me, but what should I do with it? I hadn't even thought about it, and yet I planned to descend the mountain and head to where only boredom awaits me.
なあ、どうすればいいんだ？
I meaninglessly asked myself, when had I become so very weak?
弱くなんてありませんよ。
Was that, was that Elka? Hold on. When I look up,
強く強い
Elka!
ことは
Yo!
私が保証しますよ。
Let's go! She descended from heaven to come speak to us. She has evolved, dude. She actually evolved. I was joking when I said she'd become an actual goddess, but nah, she's literally here with us, the angel herself.
他の誰
Elka.
にもシオンを連れて行くことはできませんでした。
Yo!
守ることもできなかったと思います。
Let's go! She's blessed us. There stood a maid with a meek smile on her face.
か。
Yo!
はい、エリ
Yo!
カですよ。
Yo, the particle effect! Still, they brought it all away!
よかった。まだ忘れられていなかったんですね。
Is this reality? Elka looked truly happy when she
忘れ
smiled.
られるのが一番悲しいですからね。好きな人たちに
What is
少しでも
this?
長く自分の
This
こ
makes
とを
no
覚え
sense,
て
but
お
you
く
know
の
what?
ね。
I'm so for it.
人ってそのために生きているのかもしれませんね。
死んだ後のことに期待しても本人には確かめようがないだろう。
りょうくんは相変わらず現実的ですね。
She's literally just dazzling in that night blue light. The pearl, the particle effects just flowing through her ever so being. She's just so gracious, so righteous.
今そこにいるあんたは
Are you real?
現実か
Elika shouldn't be alive. She had admitted herself that she was dying, and if she were alive, she surely would have tried to make it to Shion's side by any means possible.
夢かうつつかなんてどうでもいいじゃないですか。
You know what? You're not
りょう
wrong.
くんの中に私は生きていた。それは私にとっては嬉しいことだし、
Elika will always be with you.
エリカにはもう一度会いたいと思っていた
That was how I truly felt. If only Elika were here. Just how many times had I thought that since we'd broken out of the research facility?
めったに笑わないシオンもつかみどころのない彼女をどう扱えばいいのかわからなくて何度もエリカに聞きたいと思った
シオンは幸せですね。
Man, I miss Elika. Elika said with a tender smile.
幸せ
どう扱えばいいのか悩んだということは、それだけシオンに真剣に向き合ってくれたんでしょ。大事にしてくれたんですね。ありがとう。
本当に幸せなのかシオンは
Man, I feel blessed just by seeing her here with us. If by some chance she did feel
だ
blessed.
ったらなぜ彼女は俺を遠ざけようとするんだ
それを知りたいと思う気持ちが、りょうくんはシオンときちんと向き合ってきました。あの子も本心を見せました。少なくともシオンが自分で本心だと信じている気持ちを。でもまだ見えてないものもあるんです。りょうくんにもそれを確かめてくればいいんですよ。
It didn't matter if this was a dream or reality. Elika's voice and her words have certainly left an impression in my heart.
ねえりょうくん、軍を抜けてシオンとここに来て毎日一緒に過ごして
If only Elika had a chance to go outside.
その時間に後悔はありますか？
If only. No. I didn't have an ounce of
あの
regret.
時シオンと共に飛び出していなかったら姉さんを救えなかった後悔だけを抱えて死ぬためだけに生き続けただろう
りょうくんの気持ちがはっきりしていればシオンもきっと答えてくれます。
Elika approached me with a smile on her
だ
face.
から
And then she disappeared right before my eyes! No! No! Elika! It was so good to see you again. Oh, when I came to, I was laying in bed. I picked myself up in a state of panic. So it was a dream.
当たり前だな
Elika visited us in our dreams. But I think that's the best way for us to reach us spiritually. It was the only way. Now that I no longer had dreams about my sister, I guess Elika was next! Hey, that's a good improvement, not gonna lie. I tried to force a smile, then noticed I was holding something in my hand. It was that box. I remember up to the point I had picked this up. Did I fall asleep this way? Yo, Elika forced us to go to sleep so we can interact with her. However, I remembered Elika's voice from my dream clear as a bell. Yeah. Her words most likely came from inside me. In that case. Filled with indescribable anxiety, I ran into the night. Why? The red star shining in the night sky only agitated my anxiety further. I ran and ran, just like I was chasing that star. Beneath the darkness, I at last reached the lake shimmering beneath the night sky. There she was. Her long, soft hair fluttered in the breeze which blew off the lake. She didn't turn to face me, even though she had likely noticed I was here long ago.
シオン
Her form looked transient. like she was part of a dream. But this was reality.
シオン、
That's why I called out to her, so that I could hear what she had to say.
エリカに会ったかもしれない。
エリカ？
Shion turned around, a ghostly look on her face. The moon was so bright this evening that I could clearly see her
エリ
face.
カはどこ？
君や俺、それにエリカを知っているすべての人の中にいる。
That's pretty cliche, Ryou. I mean, honestly, I'm pretty sure even she would like to be told that, oh, I met Elika's ghost. I met Elika's ghost. I would have took that response way better than that.
それと、
I took that little box out of my pocket.
何？
マヤが持ってきてくれた。これは多分、君が持っているべきだと思う。
She tilted her head and accepted the tiny container. She took one look at my face, then slowly opened the lid.
これは
ああ、
Shion could probably tell at a glance. That's Elika, huh? Stored in that box was a silky lock of hair.
姉さん。
Elika! I could tell when Shion tried to touch Elika's hair. Her hair was trembling ever so slightly. Elika, man.
やっぱりエリカは死んだの？
Elika, man. An almost mute whisper escaped her lips. She had maintained her composure even when she was face to face with Elika as she lay dying, and yet, here, Shion looked so small, fragile, and
分
vulnerable.
かっていたけど。でも
シオン、君は、どこかで悲しみをごまかそうとしてる。本当に悲しいことが何なのか、考えないようにしているだろう。
Elika didn't have to die, man. I still stand by it. Lobby should be punished. Lobby actually should be punished. She didn't have to do that. She snapped her head up.
君はずっと誰にも負けられなかった。弱さを見せることはできなかった。だけどもう、君が強いままでいる必要は、どこにもない。
私何もごまかしてなんかない。自分を偽る必要なんてどこにもない。
エリカは、君を置いていってしまった。
It seemed even Maya hadn't heard much in regard to Elika. All she knew was the Major had arranged Elika's burial before she was arrested, and that he had left a lock on Elika's hair in Lobby's care. Those details would probably be meaningless to Shion. All that was important was that the proof of Elika's death was right here in front of her.
だけど、俺はどこにも行かない。君を一人には、
Let's go!
誰もいない寂しい世界に、君だけ置いていけるものか。
Let's go!
また同じ話を繰り返すの？
君がどうしても俺を行かせたいと言うなら、シオンを一人にするくらいなら。
Yo, what?
今ここで、俺が幕を引いてやる。
He'll do it too. He a madman.
りょう、
If I gotta leave you, then I'm killing you right now. Bruh, why you gotta point a gun at her though? There were several meters between me and her. Shion had to have known there was no way I would miss at this
これ
range.
で、すべてが終わる。君が苦しむこともない。
Fucking Ryou, dude, that's metal as hell, dude.
私を撃って次にその銃口をどこに向けるの？
She already knows too.
どこかな。
She already knows.
りょうは大根役者。
Something's in my nose. Shion declared in a decisive tone.
脅しをかけるならもう少しリハーサルを入念にやるべきだった。そんな悲しみに曇った目で何を撃てるの？何十発撃ったところで今のあなたには一つの命も消せない。
冗談だ。
I just went to sleep for a minute and now she's getting jumped. Yeah, that's Eden. I lowered the gun and
だ
grinned.
がシオンを残していくという選択肢は俺にはない。それだけが事実だ。
それはあなただけの事実。私が望むこととは違う。
もう迷うことはない。自分のやるべきことが今度こそ見えたから。
りょう
Shion gently took hold of that lock of hair as her eyes went wide with wonder.
ここに残るということは自殺するのと同じ。分かってるの？
世界の終わりなんていう曖昧でわけのわからないことはどうでもいいんだ。
Something is
そ
in
の
my
曖昧
nose.
でわけのわからないことから逃れるために100年ほど仕事してきたの、私。
俺にはもうどうでもいいことなんだ。
本気なの？
Ryo's real, dude.
もう何も失いたくない。
私を失ったところで何がどうなるわけでもない。このままここにいればあなたは間違いなく全てを失う。
違う。まだ君は。君が俺を死なせたくないと言ってくれたように、俺も残されたシオンとの時間を失いたくないんだ。
Chad move. Chad move! Yo! Chad! I reached out and embraced Shion's slender body. Her touch was warm and soft. I could feel firsthand that she was definitely alive. The time I spent with her, that serene setting, was more important to me than anything
今
else.
確かにここにいる君を一人きりにはできない。もう決して君を悲しませない。
My man.
同情はいらない。
同情だと思うのか。
You think this is pity? That ain't pity. This is love,
思わ
girl.
ない。
This is true love. Her body rocked in my arms. It looked like she intended to shake her head.
りょうは同情なんてしない。そんな生優しい人じゃない。本当に私を必要だと思っているの？
今度こそやっと見つけた。君のそばが俺の本当の居場所だ。俺が本当に守りたいと思うもの。
My tempered body and heart were all for Shion. For this girl who had been imprisoned for so very long and finally obtained freedom. For this girl who was still so very lonely. We were similar in a way.
私はずっとここにいる。エリカが眠るこの星で私も眠りたい。
It was as though her big, beautiful eyes stared straight into my heart. But I didn't look away. I wanted her to see everything.
私が眠るまであなたにそばにいてもらいたい。
The breeze made tiny waves across the water surface and rocked the lakeside vegetation. The only things to disturb the stillness was that sound of the wind and her faintly audible breathing. I wanted to be here. I wanted her to be here. A longing desire for Shion, not as someone's replacement, but for Shion alone burned within me.
やっぱり私一人じゃダメ。
There we go.
あ
一人じゃ自分のお墓だって作れない。
There we go. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Apparently the soil in the field had gotten so soft, she thought she could dig it herself. She had wanted her grave ready before she died. Though, it's not like she would have been able to fill it all on her own.
りょう、私が死んだらその後は
あ
約束。
あ約束だ。
As I hugged her tightly, I silently made a wish. Please let her live as long as possible. She behaved just as I thought she would. Still, she looked quite surprised that I saw through her scheme. The girl who walked with a frown on her face in the dazzling morning sun, suddenly went wide-eyed and dropped her luggage on the ground.
なんでいるの？
ちょっと畑の様子を見に行ってきて、その帰りだ。
嘘っぽい。
A stiff smile crept upon Maya's face. Of course it was a lie. I was ambushing her.
家から出る前に引き止めればいいのに、先回りしてるところが性格悪いよね。
なんとでも言え。それで、やっぱり一人で行くつもりだったのか？
春菜くんもわざわざ追いかけては来ないかなと思ったんだよ。
どうだろうな。お前も一人じゃ危なっかしいからな。
Maya. Maya glared at me with a groan. Since she worked as a journalist, I was sure she had her share of miserable experiences. But even so, Maya's heart was still pure. Perhaps Shion accepted her interviews because she liked that aspect of Maya.
でも、会えてよかった。
なぜ？
殴っちゃってごめん。
Maya blushed, a deep red, and quickly bowed her head.
だいたい私が口を出すようなことじゃなかったね。
いや、お前には散々引っかき回されたけどな。今はマヤが来てくれてよかったと思ってる。
Hey, Ryou! I considered leaving this place, but now I've been able to solidify my reason for staying with Shion even more. If not for Maya, I'm sure I would have just gone with the flow, never so much as realized how I felt, and welcomed the
お
end.
前のおかげで真実が分かったよ。俺の中のな。
Everything's wrapping up, man.
残ることにしたんだね。
あ
I nodded without hesitation. I made up my mind to give up my freedom and protect Shion to the very end. But I had no need for such a whimsical idea like freedom anyway. I wanted to put my life on the line to grant her final wish.
そっか。
Maya met some wonderful people, only to realize they're gonna both die. She closed her eyes tight and kept grumbling. She was perplexed, worried, and confused, and looked like she could snap at any second. That was when Maya's grumbling suddenly stopped, and she let out a tiny sigh.
マヤ、
しょうがないか。自分で決めたことだもんね。
She opened her eyes, and her face was bright and cheery again. I took notice of the mixed feelings weaving in and out of her cheerful
泣
smile.
くなよ。
泣いてないよ。泣いてる。
Ooh! Maya jumped at the sudden sound of Shion popping up behind her. Shion didn't seem to pay it any mind, and just yawned.
もう少し遅くに出発してくれればいいのに。
Shion said in a bitter voice, and Maya knitted her brows.
早く帰った方がいいみたいなこと言ってなかったっけ？忘れた。
I forgot! That too was a definite
でもマ
lie.
ヤ、勝手に一人で行ってはダメ。でもね、
It'd be nice if these two actually escorted her though.
私たちは毎日小さな別れと再会を繰り返してる。だけど長いお別れがいつ来るか、それは誰にもわからない。私にもわからない。だからきちんと向き合っておくの。いつ最後のお別れが来てもいいように。
Maya nodded with a humble look on her face. I was sure she didn't actually want to leave without saying a word. She just hadn't wanted to tear Shion and I apart. Also, wasn't it because she knew this was goodbye forever that she couldn't look us in the eye? Maya probably understood those sentiments all too well.
別れが悲しくても言葉を交わしておけば後悔はしなくて済む。
私はさ、 これでも報道だから、いろんな人と会って、じゃあまたって別れて、二度と会わないことがほとんどなんだよ。
Maya gazed into the distance, a tinge of sadness in her eyes.
今回の場合は、本当に永遠の別れだものね。シオン、そんなにはっきり言わないでくれる？また泣いてる。泣いてないって！
Maya loudly denied it and rubbed her eyes. I was amazed she made it as a journalism with her heart on her sleeve like that. But maybe it was that human element was precisely why people tended to answer her when she questioned them.
私さ、たくさん迷惑かけちゃったね。迷惑かけたのに、私なんてまだまだ駆け出しだから、記事を書いてもちゃんと世界のみんなに伝わるかわかんない。私が何もしなくてもシオンのことはずっと遠い未来まで語り継がれるだろうけど、それでも一人でも多くの人に1秒でも長くシオンのことを覚えていてもらうために、行ってくる。生きてる限りシオンのことを語り続けるよ。それが私の人生をかけた戦いになるんだ。
She kept talking on and on, hardly taking a breath when Maya was suddenly taken aback, like she realized something, and her cheeks went completely red.
ちょっと偉そうかな。
Why is Shion so depressing? Cause she's dying, buddy.
そんなことない。
My left ear! Shion smiled and shook her
マヤ
head.
みたいな人が生きていく世界を指し示せただけで、私、自分がやったことに意味があったと思えるから。だから、マヤは生きて、どこまでも、いつまでも。
そんなこと言うと際限なく長生きするぞ、こういうタイプは。
ああ、そう。
Shion thought about it a little.
じゃあ、人の迷惑にならない程度に長生きして。
Bruh. What do you say about what do you say to that? What do you say? With Maya in a bit of a daze, Shion took a step towards her and gently embraced her.
シオン？いってらっしゃい。私の船はきっと乗り心地がいいから、いい記事を書けると思う。
Maya nodded, wrapped her arms around Shion's back and hugged her tightly. The sight of those two girls embracing, with a songbird's whisper and shining morning sun in the background, looked downright sacred in my eyes. Goodbye. Goodbye, Maya. Yo, Rio, get in on this too, buddy! Their bodies slowly separated. Shion quickly drew to the side, leaving me face to face with Maya.
あ、そうだ。春菜くんのことも記事に書いていいのかな？
俺はどうでも構わないが、別に面白い話になるとも思えないな。
面白く書いていい？
事実に反することを書くつもりか？
冗談だよ。
Maya smiled, but it felt horribly awkward to me. She was probably close to tears yet again.
大丈夫。私は春菜くんのこと忘れないし、忘れない人たちが他にもいると思う。
いないさ。
いるよ。例えば、とっても綺麗で誰よりも強いけど、寂しそうなあの人とかね。
Lavi. Man, still fuck Lavi, man. She didn't have to kill Elika like that. Did Lavi resent me? Or did I no longer mean anything to her? That thought hung over my head, ever so slightly.
絶対に言っちゃいけないって脅されてたけど、独り言なら許してもらえるよね。 いいと思う。
For whatever reason, Shion arbitrarily gave her permission. She was looking off in another direction, so I thought she might not have been listening.
春菜くんのことを話してから
Lobby didn't have to do
ラビ
that.
少女が一言つぶや
She
いた。
really, truly didn't have to do that. So what? Elka went on a little bit of a rampage and tried to set off a bomb in the facility. So I didn't give you a reason to fucking stab her. The sight of Lavi suddenly appeared in my mind. It felt like I could hear her voice.
もう一度会いたい。
No, that wasn't the voice of the second lieutenant I knew. Oh wow, okay. It resembled the frail voice of a slim, unreliable girl I once met on a distant battlefield. Young Lavi. Although she was a soldier, the uniform didn't suit her in the slightest, and her name was so long it was a pain to address her. What was I doing remembering that now?
ただそれだけの言葉だけど、私はあんなに重い言葉を聞いたことなかったよ。
そういえばあいつとは決着をつけてなかったからな。そういうことだろう。
I gazed at my own hand. There was a faint white scar on the back of my palm. The pain I felt when that knife stabbed me, I still remembered it. The near instant when flesh and blade melded. Looking back on it now, that had been my final battle. I have no objections to Lavi being the co-star of Ryou Haruna's last performance as a soldier.
たく素直じゃないよね。素直じゃない人の本音を聞き出すのがマヤのお仕事。春菜くんは手強すぎて、私にはまだ太刀打ちできないよ。
She smiled bitterly and shrugged her shoulders.
だけどコメントも結局もらえなかったし、春菜くんには出会った時からやられっぱなしだからな。このままお別れっていうのは悔しいし、一矢報いてやりたいよ。
俺は何も間違ったことはしてないと思うが。
I had seen her naked and thoroughly examined every inch of her body as well as her luggage. That was probably incredibly embarrassing for her.
どうしたいんだ？
I don't think I did anything wrong though.
一発殴らせてよ。
Again?
お前には前にも一発食らった記憶があるんだが。
あれはあれ、これはこれ。乙女の純情を踏みにじった罰としては軽いでしょ。
まあいいけどな。
本当？
Was she looking forward to this? Maya slowly approached with a delighted look on her face. She clenched her fist tight.
んじゃ、行きまーす。
she about to do it. She came up to me in the exact same fashion as the last time she hit me, and just like before, I saw it coming. However, at the very last moment, her fists unfrugaled like lightning. She held the back of my neck with that open hand and pulled me. What? Her actions were so harmless that I forgot to even resist. Yo! Yes. Yes. By the time I realized it, our lips were touching. Yes. Maya stole his first kiss. Bruh, let's go. I am satisfied with this result. Maya's eyes were closed, and I couldn't read her emotions at all. Our lips just barely made contact. Then Maya immediately pulled away, body and all. Man, she did this right in front of Shion too, man. How is Shion gonna take this? Yo, no regrets, right, Maya? This guy's about to die anyways. Might as well sneak a kiss real quick and make things complicated for her too.
春菜くんは殴られるよりよっぽど効くでしょう。
Sure did.
何を考えてるんだお前は。
何かな。
Bruh. Maya smiled impishly, then, for some reason, looked at Shion. She
これが私のお気土産。素直じゃない人の本音を聞き出すにはショックを与えるのも有効だよね。
Maya smart. Yo, Maya smart. She did that to me. Is Maya low-key a wingman? Hold up. She knew exactly what that kiss would entail.
一般論としては認める。
She knows exactly what that kiss was going to do to Shion.
あら。
She murmured in disappointment and hoisted up the bags she had thrown on the ground earlier. This is probably going to be the thumbnail. Nah. That's a good shot of Maya. Maya has a very unique hair color, honestly. It's like, there are times when I want to think that it's blonde, but it's also kind of like brown. So I guess it's like more like a chestnut color. It's actually kind of unique in a sense. I don't see many anime girls with like a chestnutish hair color.
それじゃあ私行くね。
I like it. I like the design. Maya was a good character.
ああ、そうそう。
Maya was a really neat character. She looked like she remembered something.
ちなみに今のは私のファーストキスだからありがたく思ってね。
Let's go!
自分で押し付けておいて言うか。
もう受け取っちゃったでしょ。
She said cheerfully as she took a few steps backwards and put some distance between me and Shion. In an instant, I knew, even though we were far apart, we would never be closer than this ever again.
私は嘘つきだけど、それを分かってるけど、やっぱり言いたい。希望はゼロじゃないって信じたいから。
Shion nodded slightly and stood by my side.
じゃあ、またね。また。
またな。
See you again? Maybe in the afterlife, I guess. Maya turned around with a swoop and ran off as her heavy luggage clattered behind her. She never looked back. We stood in place and watched her tiny figure disappear into the
行っちゃっ
distance.
た。
ああ。
There was no loneliness on Shion's face, because Maya had been a loud and boisterous person to the end. Because she had conducted herself in such a way that we wouldn't feel lonely once she'd said farewell. I was glad that there was no sorrow clouding Shion's face.
りょう？
She was staring intently at my face. Nah, my
りょ
lips!
う、案外つまらない手に引っかかる。
ああいう攻撃は想定してなかった。
応用力が足りない。反省して。
Was it my imagination? Or did her tone sound unusually angry? Maya knew exactly what she was doing when she kissed Ryou right in front of Shion. She helped him out. She helped him out. As I found myself unable to decide, Shion clung ever closer to me. Who would have thought that kissing... Who would have thought? You know what? Let me help these two get together. I'm gonna just kiss her man right in front of her and make her want her man even more. Who would have thought? Who would have thought I would see that tactic in this game? In this story? She squeezed my hand so tight, it almost hurt.
シオン。
帰ろう。私たちの家に。まだ朝ごはん食べてない。
了解。すぐに作るよ。
Woo! The morning air was clean and clear, and the birds were signaling the start of a new day. Was that woman running down this mountain trail this very moment with all her might? As I thought about that, I felt a tug from Shion's
ゆっ
hand.
くり歩いて。私たちの時間はまだもう少しあるはずだから。
俺たちだけの時間がな。
Very soon, all of mankind will vanish from this world, and a final silence will envelope the planet as it waits for the end. I choose to use the time remaining for her and only her. That was my single, final decision. Fuck, that's actually a really good spot to stop. That's actually a really good spot to stop. God damn, do I keep going?
そして最後の幕が開く。
Shit.
マヤが去った日を境にシオンの体調は目に見えて悪くなっていった。
Hold on! Hold on! Hold on! I'm not trying to end on a cliffhanger!
少し動いただけで発熱し、食欲はほ
What's
とんどな
happening?
く、眠りも長く深
Why
い。
are you telling me this?
一日のほとんどをベッドの上で過ごすことも多い。
Fuck, dude.
それでもシオンは一言も
Fuck, man.
ただ穏やかに何かを待っているようだった。
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. We're stopping here. We gotta stop there. We gotta stop there. We have to stop there. Oh my god. Okay. Ooh, man. I knew the story was going to start breaking my heart for a second, but damn, it's starting to get there. I knew I was gonna feel it. I knew I was gonna start feeling the feels, but man, it started getting to me a lot more sooner than I thought. Oh man, these last two playthroughs have just been just heavy feels, man. It feels bad, man. Just lots of it. We gotta stop there, though. Damn. Maya, great character. I hope she lives on nice, strong, and young. All right, y'all. Woo! It's the final stretch. Actual final stretch. And we got Elika. We got Elika this playthrough. How good is that? We got fucking Elika, man. Woo! I'm so happy about that. What a playthrough. What a run. What a session, man. Loved it. Loved it. Alright. Enough procrastinating. That's it. Thank you guys all for watching. This is gonna be your boy Canon HD here, logging out. Thank you guys all for watching, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Peace.